convince those confounded men in Salem College's history department that a woman could play their game and win. No mistakes this time. This could not be another incident like Pythabra, an academic disaster of epic proportions for her. She, who always triple-checked things, had missed a critical bit of information that sent an entire archaeological crew on a fruitless dig in the old Moravian village outside Salem, North Carolina. The Pythabra dig had yielded nothing except sore backs and hot tempers, and a foundation stone that boldly proclaimed her mistake to the academic world. 1933. Not a 1753 site, as she'd insisted it would be. Getz's blunder, they called it, when they thought she wasn't listening. She would succeed this time. The endless hours she'd spent squinting at ink-spotted diaries and faded antiquarian maps were about to bring her the recognition that she'd waited far too many years to receive. It was her turn. Her turn, mind you. A glance at the hand-hewn clock assured her that if she left in the next minute, she would arrive at church in plenty of time to choose a seat to her liking for the Christmas Eve vigil. Stepping outside, she ventured down the steep brick steps, then hurried toward the church 1 block away. It would be good, wouldn't it, to walk through those narrow wooden doors again? Long overdue, really, though she'd only been in Lidditz for 2 days, all of which she'd spent unpacking enough resource materials to keep her busy through July. Emilie noted with a smile that the old Moravian Congregational store, circa 1762, hadn't been altered 1 iota except for the addition of dormers in the roof. There were laws about remodeling such buildings. Remodeling is more like it, she murmured as she neared the corner and turned right onto Moravian Church Square. In the chilly night, her heart skipped 1 beat, then 2. It was all there. The trombone choir, their elegant brass slides pointed toward the sanctuary doors, sounded a hymn as recognizable as her own name. And hanging from every porch ceiling on the square were Moravian stars dancing in the wind, their ivory glow dispelling the darkness. Nothing had changed. Nothing. And that pleased Emilie immensely. Slipping through the door with a nod to the greeter, she made a beeline for her favorite seat near the front, blinking hard as her senses were overwhelmed with awakened memories. She sank onto a much-worn padded pew and tucked her small purse beside her, careful not to disturb the couple to her left as she made a nest for herself with her cashmere dress coat. Emilie savored the spirit of Christmas past that hovered around her. Behind the wide door to the old parsonage, aromatic coffee and sweet buns waited for the final love feast of the season, soon to be served to those filling the pews of the Lidditz Moravian Church. Home. Eyes at half-mast, Emilie didn't see the man preparing to sit down next to her until he landed with a jarring thump, flattening one side of her cashmere nest. Good heavens! Didn't he realize he was sitting entirely too close? She shifted to the left and tugged at her coat sleeve. The black jeans plastered on top of it were the sorriest excuse for Christmas attire she'd ever witnessed. Obviously not a Lidditz man. "Sir, if you would, please. You're sitting on my—" "Really? No kidding." His full-volume growl had young and old in a 3-pew circumference, turning to see who was disturbing the peace. Emilie's gaze joined theirs and found a man with impossibly short hair, enormous eyes with brows covering half his face, and a 5 o'clock shadow that darkened his chin line to a slovenly shade of black. Before she could stop herself, Emilie grimaced. Ick! A lazy smile stretched across the field of dark stubble, at which point his narrow top lip disappeared completely. "Sorry, miss." He leaned slightly away from her, keeping his eyes trained on hers as he released her coat. "My mistake." She snatched back her sleeve. Men! Flustered, she fussed with her coat, trying to rearrange it just so without brushing against those tasteless black jeans of his, the ones that matched his black T-shirt, and a black sports coat which Emilie couldn't help noticing displayed an unseemly number of blonde hairs. A masculine hand thrust into view. "So, I'm Jonas Fielding, and you are—" "Blushing is what you are, Em." She swallowed, hoping it might stop the heat from rising up her too long neck, and offered her hand for the briefest shake. He was so not like her professorial peers at Salem College, buttoned up in their conservative shirts.